That's the Atlas one. So that's
Right, with the blow-up collar, yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, look, that one turns into a chair.
Didn't that have a map of the world in the hood? Or something?
You just do us a favour, mate. Will you just find yours in here?
My picture?
Yeah.
There you go, that's me, brown one there, yeah.
See, I was like...
Recognise that arse anywhere. If only they made them in that size still to these days, because I don't know what it is about clothes now, but small is not small anymore.
No.
When we were growing up, extra small wasn't even a thing. There was no such thing. There was small, medium, fucking large, and that was the end of it.
But
now there's like extra, extra small, because people are getting larger.
When did you first become aware of the casual scene?
I'd say once you leave school, school was a very free and easy time. You got your school uniform, and when I was at school, the new wave and the punk thing was still going on. So it was kind of Doc Martens and asking your mum to sew your school trousers up so they became drain pipes, and messing up your school uniform so you looked a bit like one of the Boomtown Rats. But when you leave school and you go in the match regularly, that's when I became aware of it. I guess coming from where I come from, it's an instinct. I don't really have to think about it. Like, what am I going to wear? My style, it's not changed that much. I could have wore this in the 90s, I think. Wouldn't have looked that out of place. I was born in Longsight, and then we moved to Burnage, but there's an area in between Burnage and Longsight called Levenshulme, and it's kind of a halfway house, and it's where a few of my aunties and uncles lived. So we used to hang around with more of the lads from Levenshulme, and we were all City fans, and we always used to go to the match together. So I spent most of my time traipsing up and down Stockport Road, and the casuals thing started to happen around the mid-80s, and it was exclusively around the area of the northwest, between Liverpool and Manchester. And it still seems to be like that Liverpool lads and Mancunian lads still have a similar kind of way that we dress, or did then and still do now, I think. And Dole culture's got a lot to do with that. But like your cultural icons then, of course, the Manchester thing hadn't happened then, the Mondays and the Roses and all that. So the Manchester icons would have been Morrissey and New Order, and they were hardly casuals. And over in Liverpool was Echo and the Bunnymen and Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and they weren't either. It was not something that, you went to bed one night and got up and everybody was wearing, Kappa cagoules. It's kind of a thing that just crept in, do you know what I mean?
Back then, I'm assuming like you didn't have a lot of money to buy clothes. Where were you shopping? Where were you getting your clothes from? Because a lot of the stuff that I was getting when I was growing up was second hand. I was borrowing clothes. Couldn't afford the things that you wanted.
Manchester had some great little shops. There was a sports shop in Manchester called Hurley's, which had all the gear in. It's like, the Alessi gear and Tacchini and all that. And you would go in there and be like, look at that. And then there was, in the underground market, there was a place called Oasis. They didn't have a lot of stock. It was just choice bits, great Adidas trainers and amazing tracksuit tops. But we used to get most of our stuff from the Army and Navy stores, which used to get kind of, dead stock Levi's and Levi's shirts, high-tech trainers, and Dunlop Green Flash.
Silver Shadows?
What they call Wimbledon, I don't know what they call. They were white and green anyway.
Oh, the high-tech ones, yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
And,
like the like squashy sort of ones, weren't they? Yeah.
And the Dunlop Green Flash and the Blue Flash. Oh, remember those?
I'm not familiar with the Blue Flash.
Well, the Blue Flash, obviously the Green Flash had a green flash on them, and the Blue Flash had a sky blue flash on them. There you go, yeah. Some might say the superior shoe, but we'd have to speak to Gary Aspden about that. Obviously, we were all on the dole, so the Army and Navy stores was quite cheap, and you just see buckets and bins. I remember one summer they got a stock load of these yellow and brown checked short sleeve Levi's shirts and a load of brown Wrangler flares, and fucking everybody in Manchester had them, and I mean everyone. And I remember going with City away to Oldham, half an hour up the road, and these Oldham supporters being like, what y'all wearing flares for? Like it's like we come from another planet. We're only like 2 minutes up the road. Yeah. So there's a lot of Army and Navy stores, and that's where the Parker thing came from, because you could get them in the Army and Navy stores. And it's you don't see them anymore, Army and Navy shops anywhere really. They're kind of shut down, aren't they? Well, there was a place in the Arndale market as well that Phil Sachs used to run, which had the Lee cords and all that. I'm not sure what the Not sure what the stall was called, but you'd see the Happy Mondays there. Or you wouldn't know that you didn't know they were Happy Mondays until a few years later, and you go, "Sure, that's all right." So we signed around that shop. So there was a few places, and they were selling dead stock, end of line shit that nobody was buying from the 70s.
Yeah.
I thought.
Do you come in here on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Like a full-time job?
Yeah. 12 till 6. That's my hours. Yeah, well, you run a very
12 till 6.
I know.
Well,
I do 12 till 6. In fact, I've always done that. I don't really particularly like being in the studio, if I'm being honest. You know, if you can't get it done in 6 hours, whatever it is you're trying to do, forget about it. And I've been doing it long enough now to know that after 6, if you break for dinner, the stuff that you do between 8 and 10, you always end up redoing anyway.
Right.
So I've got a very northern attitude to it, whereas I'll work from 12 till 6, mate, and I'm going home for my tea.
Oh, I'm watching shave.
And then I'm going to watch football, and then I'm going to natter with wife, and then I'm going to bed.
So these guitars, you've written some of your masterpieces on these?
Actually, no. All the ones that I've written the Oasis stuff on there, and I don't really look at them anymore.
You don't know?
Well, no, they're priceless
Yeah, of course.
to some Japanese collector who I hope to find in later life.
When you were in Oasis, did you ever talk about like what you're all going to wear?
No. Never ever, I don't think. That's how we dressed.
Yeah.
So we never spoke about it. No, never once.
No.
Never once. We never really wore the same gear. Do you
No.
know what I mean? Although it's a similar style, it wasn't like, I can't wear that, you're wearing that kind of thing.
I was trawling through the internet and looking at Oasis days in terms of some of the jackets that you wear, and you've got the Penfield. I think that's one you played at Main Road.
Yeah.
And then Nebworth, you've got the orange...
That boss jacket.
The Hugo Boss jacket, yeah.
I had a white one and I had an orange one. And a white one I wore, funny enough, I went to the Trainspotting premiere at Cannes Film Festival, right? And I'd never been to Cannes. I didn't even know what it was, right? So we're going for the weekend and we get there, and on the day of the premiere, I come down wearing that white jacket and a pair of fucking jeans and Adidas trainers, and everyone's like, "What are you going on?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "It's fucking the Cannes." I was like, "Well, what is it?" They were like, "You fucking see when you get there." So I get out of the car and it's kind of, fucking all the world's press and everyone's dressed like they do for film premieres. I'd never been to one before. I'm like fucking, going to fucking Blackburn away. I get to the top end of your ticket and a fella, French fucking geezer, just looks at me and says, "Okay."
Like it, yeah.
I was thinking, he's going to turn me away. And everyone's in dicky bows and all that. And he's like...
Avant-garde, he probably thought you were a filmmaker.
Yeah, he did, but he thought I was. Like, oh, okay.
Because I've seen a picture of you on a scooter in that white Boss one.
Yeah. I must have bought two the same day. I don't know what. I've never seen them since.
Well,
never seen them since.
No, I'm coming a bit Eamon Andrews now. Tonight, no. This is your jacket.
Is it the one?
No, it's not the one you were wearing, of course. I mean, that'd be madness, wouldn't it?
Too big, fucking what big. I mean, it wasn't even that big.
No,
then.
that was seriously. That would have been probably the size you were wearing.
Why is it a medium? Yeah, fucking hell. It's
nice
actually
though,
not a bad jacket.
Do you know what? It's really nice.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it had a little zip out hood.
I never take the zip out. I always make the mistake. To see what the odds like, can never get it back. Get it back to sit the same way. You can't get it to sit the same way.
Roll them back in.
I've done it with so many Stone Island jackets, and you put it back in, and it's just like then the collar's falling over. It's fucking awful. Nah. Yeah. So the tip to you there is it's there to make the fucking collar stand up. It's not for raining.
That's in immaculate condition now, isn't it?
Where did you get it from on eBay?
So I put it out on Instagram to see if anyone had one. I put a picture up and I said, "Anyone got this jacket?" And 2 lads got back to me.
No way.
And one didn't have the badge on, so I thought...
Is it a Velcro badge?
Yeah.
Is it? No way.
Yeah, it's sort of, yeah.
I did not know that.
But I don't know if it comes off or not, so it says so he wants it back.
Take it off. Don't fucking touch it.
Yeah.
Don't look at it. I'm not a hoarder at all. I'll wait until my wardrobe is heaving, and I'll keep most things, and then I'll wake up one day and go, right, so I'll go in, and I'll just give it all to a charity shop. And I don't really get sentimental about it. There are some Stone Island jackets I wish I'd kept. Like some of the lads who work in the shop will say, "Have you still got that particular..." I had one of the first ever reflector jackets ever. And they were like, "Have you still got that jacket? It's worth a fortune." And I have to remind myself, when they say it's worth a fortune, I get a little bit pissed off. I'm like, fuck off, no way. And they're like, yeah, it's worth a few grand now. And then I have to remind myself that I wrote Wonderwall. Right. And I just like...
What colour was it?
Mine was blue, and with it being one of the first ones, all the blue things started to come off and silver underneath. It was amazing. That's why I give them to charity shops. Somebody else should wear them. I don't want to put them on a website that they're mine. And I don't leave them with kids because they'll swap them for a chalk ice, you know, when I'm gone. My daughter wears some of my gear, and eldest Donovan will wear it. So I'll kind of pass it on to them. But I like putting it back out there. Someone else can walk into Bernardo's and go, what, £90 for that? Just check the pockets off. If there's a plectrum in it, it belongs to me.
If your house was on fire, Noel...
Which one? You can keep that in.
And you only had time to save one jacket. Everything else is all right. Everyone else is all right, by the way.
Right, the kids have got out.
Everyone's so we're all good.
The cat's gone. All the
so
guitars
just
are gone. The one that I would save is not. I haven't actually got it at home. I kind of think it's in storage somewhere. Whereas I bought this Stone Island coat. Everyone's seen me wear it. I've wore it to death. I bought it in flannels in Leeds on a day off, and I actually went to Leeds to get it because I'd seen it somewhere, and I think from the Stone Island shop said they've got one in flannels in Leeds and they'll hold it for you. And I don't think it was a day off. I think we had a gig that I think it's like to get there and back for 4 o'clock for the sound check, and did it. That's dedication to the cause. That, and it's a beautiful. I've wore it everywhere to Glastonbury all over the world.
Go on,
I did. It's kind of like a grey green. I don't know what it's called, but it's got a beautiful collar, lovely coat. It all starts with the snorkel jacket, right? Because everybody's got one of them. And then there was the famous Adidas cagoule, which had the hood inside the collar.
Right. Was that the one with just this?
Just had a little
stripe across there, colour like there was a grey one and it had like the yellow stripe across there. Yeah.
But the one that was like from the fucking future was the Kappa one. It had the red thing with the Kappa logos all the way down the side. It wasn't navy blue, but it was a funny colour blue. Yeah. And
it's like electric blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, I used to wear them with the hoods spread out.
Yeah.
And I remember when they came out thinking, I have got to go and steal one of those from somewhere. And did.
Do you know what? There's a lad on Instagram and he still gets those.
Right, no way.
And I'm like, am I too old to wear a Kappa cagoule?
Well, I remember meeting Paul Heaton from the beautiful South when Oasis first took off. I remember having a conversation with him saying how old do you have to be before you have to stop wearing trainers, you know. And at that point it was like, I don't think I'll ever stop wearing trainers. But the generation before us all, you know, the Uckies, but they never wore trainers, you know what I mean? So I dread the day I start to wear shoes. But are you too old to wear a cagoule? Probably told to wear it all the time. But there are certain, you know, to the match, all bets are off.
I'm wearing shoes today, Noel. You know.
I did notice that when I came in. So. I made a mental note of that. I'm scarred for life.
Do you think that there's not as much fun now in searching for things, like finding that holy grail, because you can just go on the internet?
Yeah, it's a bit easier. I remember when I was a roadie for the Inspirals and going to Argentina. I remember going into a shop in Buenos Aires and getting a pair of Adidas. I can't remember what they were. And the ones that were in Europe were white and something, but these ones were navy blue and silver. And I remember vividly wearing them to the Hacienda and somebody going, where the fuck have you got them from? And I'm like, I got them in Argentina. And I'm going, Argentina? And in the 80s, the 87, 88, 89, 90, you go all over the world, there'd be different things in the shops than there was in England. And you'd come back and we were like, where have you got that tracksuit top from? It's like, I've got it in Amsterdam. Fucking look at the colour of that. And now, because of globalisation, you know, the big brands, they make a range. That's the fucking end of it.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, of course, you could just get on eBay or whatever and you can look up these sites. And that's not as exciting. But also, there's people who now know what the value of it is. There were guys in Manchester when we were growing up who just used to travel around Europe shoplifting. Yeah. And shoplifting high-end kind of the gear, you know, bringing it back and probably selling it to the stall Oasis and all that. So, but that's gone. And yeah, globalisation has changed everything. We met Gary the end of the 90s going into the 2000s, and it was this guy, you know what I mean, the same age as us, and he was from Blackburn, and he was like, fucking hell, man, he knows everything. He said, do you fancy having your own designer trainer? And it's a funny thing when it happens, right, because it's kind of like you want to get it so right,
Yeah.
but you end up in a room with a load of people who are not like Gary.
Yeah.
Gary will fucking, it's an eighth of a thousandth of a millimetre too thick, it's got to be saying. But you end up with a room with a load of guys who just say, well, we can't do that. But why not? There is a compromise to it all.
I can't imagine you compromising though with stuff like that.
Well, it's either you either compromise, it don't come out.
Right,
you
yeah.
know? And but Adidas to say, do you want to do a trainer? Would be like fucking Paul McCartney saying, do you want to write B-side for Beatles? Right? You'd be like, yeah, but no. You know, I'm kind of shitting it, you know what I mean?
But they were great though, weren't they? They were great.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
I auctioned a load off for the Teenage Cancer Trust, and I've seen a few people wearing them, and it's a great thing to do. And they're great little projects to get involved in. Mikey and Gary are the last of a dying breed up there, you know what I mean? I've been there when they're going on about the new Special range, and they'll show you something, and they'll be arguing over the thickness of the tongue, the foam in the tongue. And you're like, fucking hell. But I mean, I'm so glad that Gary got his own range, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they do some mega kit.
How much of a buzz was it to be asked to be in the CP book?
Yeah, it was great. It's a pity you can't wear your own stuff. You've got to wear...
Oh, did they ask you to wear something, did they?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a bit of a weird size. I'm kind of a small and a half. So medium stuff always looks a bit too big, and small is always a bit too small. But yeah, it's good. I remember going to Glastonbury one year, and I had this CP coat on, and I remember Rita Ora was like, "Fucking hell, a jacket, fuck it, what's the goggles and the fucking thing there and all this?" And she's like, "What's that for?" And I'm like, "Because that's to see your watch if you're ever caught in a snowstorm." And I was telling this guy the story, and he was saying, "Is it the best festival jacket?" And I said, "Actually, no, it's the worst, because if you're fucking out of your mind and you put something in a pocket, forget it. You are not fucking finding that, because there's 1,000 pockets on it. There's pockets inside the pockets. You just give it up till you get back home."
When did you first become aware of CP?
I don't remember it being around at the birth of the casual thing. I remember that being, for me anyway, like a 90s thing. They just look like they're from the future. Yeah. And when I moved to London, and then it's like, what, they've got a shop? What? Yeah. There's a shop full of it. Fucking I remember going in there and just saying, I'll buy everything, you know. And for about 3 years, every time Kevy ran the shop, seeing me pull up in a taxi, he'd be like, quotas are in this week.
We can eat this week, kids. Yeah.
And I would go in there, they were all, at one point, you go in the CP shop, they were all Arsenal fans, all of them. And you'd spend hours in there just talking about football, and they do the Jedi mind trick on you, where they just pass you stuff while you're going on about Henri, and you just go, yeah, I'll take that. And they're going about City, and then before you know it, they've dropped about 20 grand in the shop. You've not actually tried anything on.
Have you got like would the goggle jacket be, would that be like your favourite?
Yeah, I've got a few. I don't really get on with them, if I'm being honest, because they're too, I don't like wearing long things, so I'm a short arse. Like I say, the small is just a bit too small, and the medium's just a bit too long. I've got I've got a study at home where all my shit is from writing. I had a few of them hung up on the rails, and they did look good. But I've got a few of those somewhere, and I've got a really special one where they actually, I don't know what, but it's from some weird fucking material, and it had gloves attached to it.
Oh, it's the Ita Throop one,
right,
isn't it?
Yeah. And I remember they called me and said, "You should have this."
Yeah.
And it came in a wicked bag. Yeah. It's like amazing. It had gloves attached to it. And I was thinking, fucking hell, if I only lived in fucking Norway, do you know what I mean? It'd be like the most amazing bit of kit ever.
Hell of a jacket, that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. It's lucky in a way that I've never been that fashionable, and it's kind of always been, it's wear clothes that suit you, really. When fashion changes, like when bootcut jeans went to fucking straight legs, I was literally the second last person in England to get them, because I was like, Got me boot cuts, mate. Fucking sticking with them. I know what I fucking want. I know what I like. Yeah. And then until they don't sell them anymore. So I'm kind of kept it on the fucking, just on a level all the way through, really.
Give the shoes a try, mate.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. I don't mind shoes on that when you're out with the girls and all that. You know what I mean? I don't mind that. You know, or when you're on stage and you're trying to bust a few moves. But trainers are just more comfortable. It's just the way they are. There's more choice. I mean, men's clothes generally compared to women's are shocking. Apart from the casual wear, right? Which is fucking amazing. Women have so much choice for everything. Shoes are fucking the lot, mate. Like men's, it's just like, it's black. And that's it, you know, when you get to a certain age. So thank God for us, we came from the council estates and we're not really into that kind of thing, you know.
Top man.
Awesome, mate.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Awesome, superb.
Great. Brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you so much, mate.